The Sonoff Mini D that you can see here is a very good device to control your garage door or let's say your gate motor, but we can do something a little bit more. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create an automation or actually a notification in the Sonoff ecosystem, so in the evening application. So if you close your garage and it doesn't close for any reason, then it should give you a notification that the garage door or the gate door is left open. So let me demonstrate how it works. So I'm going to click here, which is going to send a short pass from the Sonoff Mini D, and that's going to send the signal to the garage door motor or the gate motor to start closing the garage door. And I've configured this so it gives you a notification after 1 minute if the garage door doesn't open or doesn't close, sorry, in this case. And the way I could do this, because I have this switch connected to the input of the Sonoff Mini D, and I'm using a switch for the demonstration purposes, but you can replace this with like a door closing sensor, like a reed sensor. So that should detect whenever the garage door either fully closes or when it starts opening up if it's in a closed position. Unfortunately, in the Sonoff ecosystem, there is no way to see the state of this. So we are not going to see if the door is open or closed, but we can do some magic with the scenes in order to give us a notification if the garage door did not close. And now the 1 minute has elapsed and you can see that I have a notification. Well, I have a couple of notifications that you can see. I have a notification from EV-Link. I won't be able to show you the full notification because I'm doing the screen recording, but I'm going to have an overlay how it actually looks like. But if I come here to the messages and the notice, and then we can see that I get a garage door did not close is triggered, which just happened now. So the logic is working. And now I can also demonstrate you how it works if it is actually working correctly. So the garage door closes. So here I'm going to trigger the Mini D again. So that sends out the short pulse to the garage door. So now the garage door is going down. And let's say that the garage door closed. So now it's going to detect that the reed switch closes and the garage door is closed. And I'm going to simulate this by changing this switch over to the other position. And then we are just going to wait for another minute and then see if we can get a notification or not. This is a very simplified example. I'm using this switch, but once we go into the settings, we are going to see that it doesn't really matter that it's a switch or a reed switch or any other sensor, because what we're really concerned about is we are going to see a change in the status. So the garage door was open and now it closes, or the other way around. And actually, so far I was only able to reproduce this simple scenario that the garage door did not close for any reason. I couldn't create a scenario where you would get a notification if, let's say, the garage door is left open. So you open up the garage door, you forget to close it, and then get a notification. So I wasn't able to do that. So this scenario is mostly things to, like, you close the garage door, you close the gate, you drive away, and let's say a cat walks by, or the wind blows either debris or a branch or a leaf across the infrared sensor, which closes the garage door to stop and open up again. If you just drive away, you wouldn't notice that this is happening, so you should receive a notification that the garage door did not close at in a certain amount of time. So now the 1 minute is definitely elapsed and we didn't get an additional notification. Maybe I should have dismissed this single notification, but if I go back to the messages, you can see that I haven't received anything other than the one that I received a couple of minutes ago for the first scenario. So this is working and I'm going to show you how it actually works. So you pretty much already seen the working of this. Obviously we need a Sonoff Mini D, and actually we don't really need anything else. And this Sonoff Mini D is configured so it sends out a short pulse to the garage motor or the gate motor, and that's how usually they receive a signal to either start opening or start closing. And you normally wire up the garage motor to the COM and the NO connection, which is the middle and the right connection, but the Sonoff Mini D is upside down. So again, check the labels here, COM and NO. And to power the Sonoff Mini D, You can use the L and the N connection, which are here. So those are connected to the mains here, but you can also power from DC using the DC plus and the DC minus. By the way, I've covered all this in my Sonoff Mini review video. And we also have a connection to the S1 and the S2, and those are normally for a switch. So you can manually operate the output. But we're not going to do this in this example. So into the S1 and the S2, you would wire the open sensor that you usually put on the bottom of the garage door, so it detects when the garage door fully closes. And now we have to go into some settings because we need to configure first the Sonoff Mini D in order to work in this scenario, and we also have to create a couple of scenes. And within the settings, I first have to scroll down to the inching settings, and I have to set up a ½ second auto off. So that would make the Sonoff Mini D, so when I push the button, it turns on and it turns off after ½ second, so it sends a short pass to the garage door motor. And the second thing we need to do, we go back and we go into the, I always forget, switch mode. And then we enable the detached relay option, because again, we are going to use the input to tell whether the garage door closes or opens. We don't want that signal to operate the relay because now they are completely different stuff. And as I said, you're not going to see any changes on the UI. So unfortunately, the UI is not going to give you any information of the input. So we can't really tell if the garage door is open or not. So we just have to use the scenes for that. So now I go over to the scenes. Here I have to create two different scenes because I mean, the EV-Link and the Sonoff Mini D wasn't really designed for this particular scenario in mind. So we have to do like a little bit of like the kind of setup in order to make this work, but it works. So I can definitely recommend that. So first of all, we have to create one scene. Well, we create the first scene, which I just called one garage did not close. And this is going to trigger when the Sonoff Mini D is on. So when the relay is energized, and then of course it de-energizes automatically. So it's whenever I push the button in order to close or open the garage door. And then we are going to do a 1 minute delay. And after 1 minute delay, we send a push notification saying that the garage door did not close. So this scene itself will always send a notification 1 minute after you either closed or opened the garage door. And of course, we don't want this notification to be sent if the garage door indeed closes. So we have to create a second scene, which I just called "2 garage door did not close." And in this one, this gets triggered whenever the Mini D is pressed. So when you go into the settings, is the external switch press. And this is why I said I can easily simulate this with a switch, because it doesn't really care whether the door has opened or closed. It only detects that the state of this switch or the read relay changes. So it was either closed and now it's open, or it was open and now it's closed. So they will, so both of these scenarios are going to be represented by this external press event. I would have loved if there is a separate event for opening or closing, or button pressed and button released, something like that. But unfortunately, we don't have that because Sonoff didn't have this in mind when they designed this particular unit. So if this is pressed, then we are going to disable the garage did not close. So the first scene that we have created, and then we are going to wait for 2 minutes. And well, it says 2 minutes and 5 seconds, but let's say 2 minutes. And then we are going to re-enable the same scene, the first scene that I just showed you about a minute ago. So now with these two, you can see that we will always try to send out a notification, but if the garage door closes, then that's going to disable that. So the notification is not going to be sent. And you can see here that I have put a delay of 2 minutes here, because I think what is happening in the background is that whenever you are disabling a scene, you disable the actions of the scene, but I think the scene is still somehow running in the background, because if I try to do a shorter delay, then sometimes the notifications are still getting sent out. So I think minimum you have to give a delay longer than when the first scene is going to complete. So make sure that the full run of the first scene is basically blocked and disabled. So in my case, I think probably 1 minute, 10 seconds should have been fine. And then you are going to just re-enable it. So next time you operate, then the whole thing is going to work again. So with this, there is obviously an implicit sort of like logic or assumption in this whole thing that you're not going to open or close the garage door more frequently than, let's say, 1 minute, because then, you know, if you do it too many or too frequently, then what the scene could be already disabled. But I think in a normal scenario, when you open up the garage, you get into the car, you drive out, and then you close it, then probably this 1 minute delay is sufficient. And not to mention that I put 1 minute in the first scene, just for fun. But if your garage door closes in 20 seconds, you can set it to, let's say, 30 seconds. And in the second scene, you can set the delay to 40 seconds. So again, the whole thing is going to expire in 40 seconds. It's going to be reset to the original state. But that's it. From this setup, you can already tell that the garage door left open scenario is not working, because when you open up the garage door, so the first scenario or the first scene is going to obviously trigger, and then the second scene is going to trigger almost immediately at the same time, because as the garage door starts moving up, it's going to detect almost immediately that the garage door was closed and now it's open. So the whole disabling is going to be activated again. And I try to be, smart with putting an additional delay and then doing some sort of like cross disable enable functionality between the two scenes, just to disable that initial short, let's say 5 seconds, but it didn't work. So I couldn't make that work, and so I can only present you this single scenario. But to be honest, that's it. So all you need to do is, besides wiring up the garage motor, which you probably have already done, also wire up a close sensor or garage door close sensor or gate close sensor to the S1 and the S2 terminal. You have to set up inching, which probably you have already done if you're using the Mini-D for operating the garage door. You set up the detach relay function, which means that you're not going to use the the input for opening the garage door, and you have to create these two scenes that I showed you here. And this seems to be working very reliably. I've tested a couple of different scenarios, and I always get a notification. And of course, this is a useful notification to have, especially if you tend to drive away as your garage door closes or as the gate closes, and you are not really sure if it indeed closed or it did not. And of course, the other thing you can also do is, when you go back to your Mini-D or the device that you use for the gates or the garage, you can also assign a camera to it. So you can just immediately have a snapshot of the area. So you can also visually inspect what has happened. So if you get a notification, you come back here, there is going to be a small video feed on the top of the screen, so you can see whether the garage door is indeed open or closed. So I think that's all going to be it for this particular scenario. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next one.